Hi, and welcome to Female Entrepreneurs Magazine, your go-to platform for ambitious women who are ready to take the business world by storm. I'm your host, Angel France, and each week we'll dive into the latest strategies, stories, and success secrets from the most inspiring female entrepreneurs around the world. Hi, and welcome to The Real Female Entrepreneurs. Today, we're rolling out the red carpet for a true powerhouse in the entertainment industry. From Hollywood to hometown impact, Diane is a multi-award-winning serial entrepreneur, executive producer, best-selling author, and TEDx speaker who's been shaping the arts, media, and creative industry for over 21 years. So buckle up, because today we're diving into how she turned passion into purpose, built multiple thriving businesses, and is changing lives through the power of storytelling and creativity. Help me welcome Diane Strand. Welcome.
Oh, thank you so much. What a wonderful introduction. Thank you.
Well, you're amazing. So I love to hear this one thing. What inspired you to become the amazing entrepreneur you are currently?
Well, the inspiration to actually become an entrepreneur was probably burnout in the Hollywood entertainment industry that drove me running to entrepreneurship, reality television to be exact. That was like a win-lose culture. And I had a 3-year-old son, and the only way to be able to live the dream and be a mom was to become an entrepreneur.
You're right about that, because that is the only way, even in today's society, for females to actually have it all: family life, a career, and
Absolutely.
all of those fun
Yeah.
things. What was your first thing that you did as an entrepreneur, and where has it brought you now?
Well, I became an entrepreneur now almost 22 years ago, and it was a day that was a very frustrating day in reality television. And I came home missing dinner and bath time with my 3-year-old son. And my husband, who's my partner in life and business, said to me, well, what if you just quit your job and we became entrepreneurs? And it took me about 15 seconds to say yes. And that was it. I put in my notice. We put the house up for sale. We gave up at that time, because this was 2003, fat 6-figure incomes to become entrepreneurs. And we just really relied on what we knew: storytelling and creativity, and knocking on doors, going to the old-fashioned style of selling by saying, hi, this is who we are and this is what we do, and starting with that personal brand and making it be about helping others and being able to help others market and communicate. And that's what started our business.
Wow. So forward from that, and 22 years later, how did that transition, and how do you market your business now?
Well, I still truly believe that it's all based on personal brand. We do business with who we know, we like, and we trust. So you have to have that personal brand that goes along with your corporate image, especially in today's world of cancel culture. You have to stay out in front of that. And so that's a big way that I market my business today, is through my personal brand and my profile. And I am a true believer that if you can be a creativepreneur, and that's my tagline, is I'm the creativepreneur. I don't care what industry you're in. If you can be creative, you will leverage, market, and scale. And so that's what I really talk about now, is how you can be creative no matter what industry you're in, no matter what you're looking to do. And if you do it with passion and purpose, the profits will follow.
So your business, you're teaching people storytelling, and what else?
Well, we teach, I say we do and we teach, and we specialize in visual performing and digital arts. So we start with the storytelling and the script writing, the concept development, and then we get into all the technical training that we do with camera and editing and graphics and animation. And then we teach how to distribute, then how to turn that into a career pathway. We work with mainstream and special needs in the neurodiverse population. So youth, teens, and adults, to help them find their creative career pathway that they're looking for. And then we help place them, whether it's launching actors, getting agents and managers, whether it's taking someone who wants to be a filmmaker. We have DigiFest Temecula, which is in its 9th year. It's so much more than a film festival. We push the boundaries of digital media. And then we have our Title 17 Day program, where we have a couple of TV shows, a radio show, and a podcast. And those are in some level training tools for our students to work on and learn, as well as going out to the broadcast community when you start working your way up to be a part of broadcast television.
Wow, it sounds like if it's a be-all end-all to broadcasting, TV shows, and everything like that. It sounds like you're a one-stop shop for that if you want to be in the industry.
Yes, we help people find their goals, make dreams a reality, and reach for them. And, we provide a little bit of hope. It's helping one person every day. And with that mission, we find that there's a ripple effect to all of that. And it really does spread out. And over 100 actors and directors and writers and producers, mainstream, special needs, all ages, we've launched them and helped them live their dream.
That's amazing. That is truly amazing. I knew what you did, but I didn't have it all put together into the whole spectrum of everything. It's just amazing.
Oh, thank you very much. I even love the fact that when we hire, I have a staff of 16, and when we hire, I look for emerging, those college graduates who are looking for their first break. Sometimes it can be frustrating because they leave me after a certain amount of time because they don't stay in one place forever. But yet I also know that, I was a launching pad for them to live their dream as well after all their hard work.
And so I'm going to go back a minute because I want to talk about the balance. All right.
Sure.
So 22 years ago, you actually jumped into the fire of entrepreneurship with a 3-year-old. Okay. So you've been through every aspect of that entrepreneurship with a toddler. So can you explain the balance that you created, how it was then, midway, and what you've done now? Because he's 20 something now.
Well, he's 25 and 2 more came after him. So I'm a mom of 3. My youngest is 16 and I have a middle guy who's about to turn 21. So 2 adult children and 1 who's a sophomore in high school. Balance isn't always easy. It's one of those things that you have to figure out how it works. It's a yin and a yang. There is no true balance in entrepreneurship because there are times that I have to focus more on my business to make that grow and thrive. And then there's times, because I am an entrepreneur, that, I get to go to the volleyball tournaments and the soccer games. And I was, a room mom when my kids were littler in elementary school because I can schedule my time. So don't look at it as an equal balance. There is no equal balance. I'm not the justice system. It's not the way that that's supposed to work. There are stressful days. There are days that, are super long, but I have a passion for it. And then that turns into a purpose. And my kids are very much involved in my business. They come, they perform in the plays. They are learning assistant directing. My middle guy, he's assistant directing for Aladdin this year. He ran summer camp last summer. My oldest is more on the technical side and learns about engineering and lighting. And, my 16-year-old is talking about getting her business degree because she's the one who says she wants to take over the company. So, they have a really strong, active role. My company is JDS. It's the initials of all three of my kids. So it's for them, built it as part of a legacy, as well as for them to be able to find their dreams come true and turn it into something.
That is so sweet. And I love the fact you brought up it is not a balance. I asked that question so I can get true. And everybody is so true on here and say, oh my God, it's like a dance. One day it's this, another day it's that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you can't balance everything, and life doesn't work that way. Life has a way of taking over sometimes, and it's all about what's going on in our personal life. And then life has a way of being all about business and allow me to travel and do fun, great things. And now I get to combine work and pleasure together. I think we just came off the marketers cruise, right? So that was a lot of fun and leisure, but I actually conducted a lot of business on that boat. So there is a balance to that as well.
So what advice do you have for women trying to grow their own business? Or maybe let's back it up. Let's go in steps, because you're somebody I can do that with. So what about somebody who is frustrated at work and thinking, oh God, I just want to do something else. And then the woman who's midway going, okay, I've been hitting this for about 5 to 10 years and I am just a little frustrated. Or a woman who's been in for 20 something and hitting her head up against the wall finally. Any suggestions?
Well, for the beginning person who's starting in entrepreneurship, you definitely have to get a little feisty. There's no doubt about it. You got to get feisty. You have to be hungry. And that is something that comes back, I would say, for someone who's been doing this for 5 years or someone who's been doing this for 20 years. We ebb and flow through the entrepreneurship. There are definitely days that you feel like you're hitting your head against the wall. Or, I always say nobody will ever love your business like you love your business. And I'm the one here at 2:00 in the morning making it all work, so that is the non-balance side of it that really comes into it. But it's being hungry. If you're hungry and you want it and you're passionate about it, you will find, in my terms, the creativity to work yourself out of whatever it is you're trying to solve. And if you're a good problem solver and a solution person, you are ready for entrepreneurship. So take that leap. I always say pack your own parachute, because that way you can trust in yourself and you can jump. And when you packed it, you know it's going to open. And every time you do something that you said you were going to do, whether it's a small thing or a big thing, you're building that confidence in yourself and you're putting the coins in the confidence bank, because the more we trust ourselves, the more we'll step outside that comfort zone and we'll take those risks. We'll start before we're ready. We just make it go because we trust ourselves. We'll figure it out along the way. And I've done a lot of that, getting involved in it and realizing that I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing, but yet on the other side of it, I've learned, I've grown, and I was able to deliver something that made my client happy. And so that is the end result.
Perfect. Because you know what? That fierceness that you need to be inside of you and to push forward is key to everything.
Absolutely. You got to have the fire burning inside of you. And sometimes it dims, you have to find a way to refresh it and bring it back out. And, that's where I come back to get creative. And when we can get creative in whatever it is we're doing, and that doesn't mean that you have to go be in a play to be creative or write a book or do those kinds of things. It's just thinking a little different and creativity to be able to engage with somebody else, whether that's through your marketing, through your social media messaging, through what you're trying to pursue, whatever service you are bringing out there to the world. If you do it with passion and creativity, you can be a CPA. And getting creative in how you communicate and market, people are going to gravitate to you. Your business will grow.
So knowing what you've learned in the industry with your fire and creativity, what would you go back and tell your 18-year-old self?
Don't give up. Start before you're ready. Don't be so hard on yourself. I was very hard on myself in the early years. I'm dyslexic. It's not something that I would ever have shared before, maybe even like 2 or 3 years ago. And I was working with special needs, finding that story, talk from your heart. Those are all things that I would tell myself because they took me a long time to learn those things. So I would probably give myself some advice so I maybe didn't have to do so many face plants in my early 20s. I don't know.
All right. What is one key strategy that helped you advance in your career that people said, oh, no, don't do that?
Well, that would actually be starting before you're ready, because I just jump in and go for things. And they're like, well, do you have this? Do you have this? Do you have this? No, it'll happen. We'll make it work. It'll happen. And so that's the secret sauce, because you do. If you know what you want it to look like at the end, you don't have to know what every step in the middle is. You figure it out as you get there, because you might have to pivot. You might have to make a change. And if you have everything so planned out, that'd be something I tell myself too, is don't be so rigid, be more flexible, because that is how you get to the solution. You manifest it out here, and then you take each step as it realizes itself to you to see where you need to go next.
It sounds like you do a lot like me. You go to the end and you work backwards in your brain, and
Yes.
then you move forward from it. You don't have
reverse engineering.
Yes, that's it. That's exactly what we do.
Yes.
All right. Can you share any future plans that you have for you, your company, and that where you see it all transpiring to?
Absolutely. Gosh, my mission is to move the arts across America and to be able to have creative academies pop up, not in a franchise type of way, but in a licensing type of way. So there are the arts impacting life, business, and economics in every corner of America. And that is my goal. That's what we're working on now. Whether you want to launch your own creative academy to just teach the visual and performing and digital arts, you want to work with neurodiverse, I can help you. You want to create a nonprofit, you want to work your for-profit and your nonprofit together to make an impact. That's what my mission is moving forward as I look for my own exit strategy in the next 6 to 10 years. I want to leave that legacy for not only my JDS kids, but all of my hashtag JDS family, so they have a safe, creative place to be able to thrive and grow no matter where you're at.
That is amazing. I love that. I'm a dancer at heart. So first off, anything that's artsy or media related, I'm all for it. My husband's grandson, who we raised, has a degree in animation art. So totally understand that, in gaming. So
Yeah.
totally understand that industry. I don't understand it. I just lived it with him.
I don't know that I understand it either, but I can create it.
That's amazing. So if you had a superpower for just 24 hours, one day, what would it be?
Oh, well, there are several. I think it's none of my business, but I probably want to be a mind reader.
That would be cool.
Yeah. Although I think what other people think is none of my business, but at the same time, I'd like to have a little glimpse into it.
Well, in business, especially because it would help you where to maneuver, you'd have to have those right appointments on that 24 hours, all of them swished into one 24-hour period.
Well, I also think that, sometimes we have our own monologue that runs in our head that nobody else hears. And sometimes if I could hear what somebody else's monologue is, I could help them combat that.
Very good. So what's one fun fact about you that not a lot of people know about?
A fun fact about me. Well, I kind of, shared a little bit about how I get creative in that sense. So a fun fact about me is that every morning I write a little quote down, and I make that. I love quotes. I love acronyms. So I kind of try and develop them. So every morning there's usually a word that pops in my head, and then I try and create an acronym out of it. Now, it doesn't always work, and it's not always something that you can move forward with, but it helps get me in the right mindset to be able to start my day and go through it. And my favorite one that I'll share with you is called Dream. And to have a dream, you have to have direction. You have to realize it. You have to evaluate that dream, take action on it, so the momentum will make that dream come true.
That is so sweet. And that just rolls with your creativity.
Thank 100%.
You. And that is just so true. I love the word dream, and I love the acronym for that.
Yeah. And dance, I love to dance. I love to, listen to music in my head. And, other than that, I'm pretty mundane. I'm like trying to think of a fun fact. And other than I like to travel and go on cruises and have great conversations. I don't know how fun fact it is, but, just being with my people. That's a fun fact.
That is fun. All right. What about a favorite book? Do you have a favorite book?
Well, I love your magazine. I love periodicals. I'm a periodical reader. I'm not as much of a book reader. I am a book author, and I have another book coming out called The Creativepreneur. But, sitting down and reading books, I skim through them. I read the back. There is a book called Be Seen that I love, about how to be seen in the media. And that really changed some things for me. But I love periodicals. I like to get from the beginning to the middle to the end, so I can take it in little short doses and move on.
So tell me about The Creativepreneur. When's it coming out?
Later this year. I don't have a launch date yet. We start the pre-launch in September. So that's when the pre-launch will start with that. And then we're going to pick a launch date, whether we're going to kick it off officially, maybe right around November 15th will probably be right around the launch date, but it's not a hard date yet. So,
okay. And you'll keep us posted so we can put it in the magazine and everything. Awesome.
Absolutely.
Yay. What about a favorite song? You like music, so we have to have a favorite song or two.
I Will Survive is one that definitely is an anthem to keep me going. I love James Taylor music, when you need a friend, I'll be a friend. That is, my mantra, be a friend. So I listen to that. I love 70s music. That is my big thing is, get up and dance and celebrate and have a little fun, but then a little folksy so it can kind of go to your heart and kind of talk to you a little bit.
What about a favorite quote?
Well, my favorite quote right now that really works for me is a quote by Steve Jobs. And it's, you can't know your dots by looking forward. You have to look back to connect the dots so you know exactly why you are where you are. And there are so many dots in my life that show up as early as second grade that pinpoint exactly to why I am doing what I'm doing now. The arts kept me in school, and every major dot revolves around the arts for me, or somehow how the arts have impacted me. So that quote just truly resonates with me. And of course, there's the Dolly Parton quote, which is, if you like rainbows, you got to dance in the rain.
Yeah, my mom has a Dolly Parton quote she loves too. It's the one about, if you don't like the road you're on, pay the new one.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. How do you stay motivated besides journaling, with your acronyms, dancing, and music?
Staying motivated, I don't think that you need to be motivated all the time. You have to have passion all the time. Sometimes we have to rejuvenate. Sometimes, I got to go crawl in my little hole and cry in my pillow. Sometimes, those things can motivate you because you've got to have the strength to get back up. Your pain and your discomfort is temporary. The growth is permanent. So I look at those things that sometimes when my motivation will dip or my drive will dip, I go get a dose of my family, I bring in the love, and I get back in touch with me, and what it is that I need to do, because we can't be motivated all the time. There are some days that are just tough days, and every rose has a thorn, but that's okay. But if you stop and smell the roses, you will find the beauty and you will go on.
Definitely. You're a poet. I mean, you're a creative poet, 100%. All right. How can our audience stay connected with you?
Well, I'm all over social media, so you can find me at Diane Strand or at the hashtag JDS Family, where you'll find my video production, my actors studio, our nonprofit Creative Academy, our festival DigiFest Temecula, as well as our TV show Spirit of Innovation, Arts Across America.
Wow. And is there anything else you want to share with the women out there that we haven't discussed already?
No, I as far as sharing is just, inspire yourself, dig deep, inspire yourself, chase your dream, turn them into realities, and don't ever give up. That's the only way that you fail, is if you quit. We win or we lose. I mean, we win or we learn. We never lose. So, keep reaching for the stars, and you got this. And if you can keep telling yourself that, then you truly got it.
I love it. Diane, thank you so much for being with us today. You're amazing.
Thank you so much. I love this. This has been such an honor to be here with you. Thank you, Angel.
You're welcome. Bye. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Female Entrepreneurs Magazine. I hope you found inspiration, actionable tips, and a sense of connection with our incredible community of driven women. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a review, and share the episode with fellow entrepreneurs who are ready to elevate their game. Remember, your success is just the beginning, and we're here to support you in every step of the way. Until next time, keep shining, keep thriving, and remember, you have the power to create the business and life of your dreams. Stay inspired, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.